With 196 million hours of viewing, Ryan Murphy's Dahmer Monster. The Jeffrey Dahmer Story debuted at number 1 on Netflix, and the fictitious account of the legendary serial killer who was responsible for the horrible killings of 17 boys and men between 1978 and 1991. Evan Peters plays the lead role. The 10-episode series included shocking police incompetence and graphic crimes that left many viewers wondering just what happened during Dahmer's crime rampage and arrest. Fictional elements were portrayed for fun. Since then, information has come to light and about the fate of the apartment complex where many of the crime took place. Subsequent developments involving Dahmer's father, Lionel, who now resides in Ohio, and the passing of the killer's biological mother, Joyce, who died of breast cancer in 2000. The answers to further true crime-inspired queries about David Dahmer, the brother of Dahmer, and a timeline of his misdeeds were also provided. After watching the series, viewers were left with unanswered doubts concerning about crucial facts such as those regarding Dahmer's altercations with his next-door neighbor, Glenda Cleveland. Find out what is actual fact and what is pure fiction in this breakdown of Dahmer Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer Story from Netflix. Glenda Cleveland didn't live in the Oxford apartments, and she never met Dahmer. Glenda Cleveland, played by Nancy Nash, has a vital impact on Dahmer's capture. Cleveland is Dahmer's neighbor in the television show, and their frequent contacts result in numerous police complaints. The two never actually interacted, and Cleveland never resided in Dahmer's building. She actually resided in the next-door structure. She did, however, make many attempts to inform the FBI and the local police about Dahmer's actions. In the series, Cleveland's niece Nicole Childress and daughter Sandra Smith witness a bewildered Conrad in Thatham's phone 14, fleeing from an alley close to Dahmer's apartment on May 27, 1991. After Cleveland called the police, they showed up, took the teenager back in Dahmer's custody, and then killed him. Dahmer informed the authorities that Sin Thatham's phone 19 was his partner and that he was intoxicated. Sin Thatham's phone was clearly impaired. Dahmer fed sandwiches to his neighbor Pamela Bass. The person who is resided next door to Dahmer was Pamela Bass. She liked him a lot and didn't have many concerns about what he was up to. The Netflix limited series did not feature her. Bass publicly affirmed that Dahmer was pleasant and sharing following his arrest. She even attested to him feeding her sandwiches. Bass stated her concern that the crimes may have contained human flesh once the brutality of Dahmer's acts was established. In the film The Jeffrey Dahmer Files, she claimed, "I have probably eaten someone's body parts."
I have eaten a sandwich from you. I have probably eaten someone's body part. How dare you?
Dahmer did not drink bags of blood while working at the Milwaukee Blood Plaster Center, following his hiring as a phlebotomist at the Milwaukee Blood Plasma Center. Dahmer was the subject of episode 4. He brought home a bag of blood to drink, which is a troubled turn of events, attempting to swallow a vial of blood on the center's roof. Dahmer reportedly told police authorities in real life but instead spat it out. Police officers John Balcerzak and Joseph Gabrish did not receive Officer of the Year. Officers in episode 9 of the limited series, Joseph Gabrish and John Balcerzak, were commended as Officers of the Year, an actuality that never took place. After being suspended following Dahmer's capture, both policemen were hired back on in 1994, but they were never honored as Officers of the Year. Balcerzak later rose to the position of Union President for Milwaukee police officers. Dahmer did not wear glasses during his trial. The alleged murderer did not sport the aviator glasses that made him famous throughout his trial. "I felt uncomfortable looking anyone in my face. I didn't want to see anyone's face clearly. It helped me dissociate myself from what was happening." Dahmer did often show victims in The Exorcist 3 movie. In an interview with Inside Edition, Dahmer acknowledged that he had shown The Exorcist 3 to his victims. "I felt so hopelessly evil and perverted that I actually derived a sort of pleasure from watching that tape." Dahmer did say to Tracy Edwards, "I want to hear your heart because I'm going to eat it." Tracy Edwards said that Dahmer gave the ominous warning before finally making it out of Dahmer's house alive. Police stopped Jeffrey Dahmer because he was driving with human remains inside. According to Dahmer's confession, which the New York Times was able to get, he was stopped by police officers after killing his first victim, Stephen Hicks, 18, in 1978, even though he was swerving at 3 in the morning while driving with garbage bags of Hicks' remains in the back seat. He persuaded the authorities to let him go. Dahmer was previously arrested for showing himself indecently at the Wisconsin State Fair. He was fined $50. He was expelled from a bathhouse after being charged with drugging 2 customers there. At his trial, the bathhouse's manager gave a testimony. In September 1988, Dahmer was accused of molesting and seducing Somsack Sin Thatham's phone. He was sentenced to 1 year in jail with a work release program and 5 years of probation. Somsack was the older brother of Dahmer victim Conrad. After Dahmer was found guilty of assaulting the brother of one of his future victims, Lionel Dahmer begged a judge to step in. In the 2020 season of Investigation Discovery's Jeffrey Dahmer, Mind of a Monster, Dahmer read a letter he wrote to Judge William Gardner in 1990, appealing for assistance or intervention before his kid was freed. "I have reservations regarding Jeff's chances when he hits these streets." Dahmer harassed the family of his victim. In episode 6, Dahmer made fun of his victims' families. He telephoned the relatives, as shown, and instructed them to give up looking for their missing loved ones. Glenda Cleveland continued to contact Milwaukee police regarding her suspicions. Cleveland actually phoned the Milwaukee Police Department about her worries over Dahmer after reading a newspaper item emphasizing the disappearances of Sin Thatham's phone as it portrayed throughout the limited series. She contacted the FBI after her calls to the local authorities went unanswered, and she was told that it had no jurisdiction. Cleveland said that she called for months and months, although Dahmer was actually taken into custody 7 weeks later. Cleveland met with Jesse Jackson following Dahmer's arrest. Following Dahmer's arrest, civil rights activist Jesse Jackson organized a demonstration in Milwaukee. He met not just with Cleveland, but also with the city's mayor. Oxford apartment tenant complained about the noises and smell. Cleveland may not have been a neighbor of Dahmer's, but a resident of his building, voiced a complaint about the smell emanating from his flat. Sopa Princewell acknowledged the complaints in his testimony. So what can you say about Jeffrey Dahmer's story? And what have you discovered? Please let me know by leaving a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thank you for stopping by to watch. See you in our next video.